Hey, locker room, what's up? Guys, back in Dallas now, got home early this morning, made it to church, made sure I prayed for me and for all of you out here that joins me here in the locker room because we're family. I always tell people, I say this all the time, that family is made by more than just blood. Family is also made by common great love, like we have in the locker room for the Cowboys and for one another. So we are family. Yeah, sing that song. Let's talk about some football today, though. I love bringing and talking to you guys about the top three games I pulled out of the weekend. All right, those three games. Uh, I saw the Pitt Chargers, New England, Tampa, and Philly, Green Bay. Philly, Green Bay game still yet to be played tonight. But I'm going to talk about what I saw in Pitt Chargers and New England Tampa, and I want to throw in Detroit Washington since it is in the division, and I always like to keep my eyes on the prize of what's going on in the division. Of course, we know what happened with the Giants today in Chicago. They lost the game, but we hope that Dart is okay and healthy. I think about the Giants and all that young talent that they have over there. Think about the neighbors, Scatterbull, and Dart, and the little injury things that they're going through right now. If they can maintain that little group, that little nucleus group right there together and get them all back healthy, man, the Giants got something to hope about. They got something to hold on to and hope about. But right now, I'm not worried about them. But I do want to talk about what I saw in Detroit. Detroit beat Washington 44-22. And I thought I saw Detroit hit a stride today. I know they came off a loss against Minnesota last week. But what I saw today offensively was something. Now you know what happened today, right? Head man says, okay, things aren't going well, I need to make a change. Dan Campbell starts making the calls. He calls all the plays. And they did a hootie Detroit did on offense. They look spectacular. I don't want to say it's all because of Dan making the calls. But when you start getting those triplets and those sets of triplets making plays like that, 320 yards by Goff, you get him Gibbs rushing for 140, 149, 140 some yards, and then Williams, Jameson coming in with 119. Not St. Brown. Now you got options. And the thing is, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen here in Detroit, and that's why I wanted to talk about it. They're gonna want Dan Campbell making these calls all the time. I don't know now how coach goes back to not making the calls if you make the calls on offense now and you guys put up 44 points. And the most important part, you go through your resources. Those are your stars you use. And man, did that offense look good. Keep watching that moving forward. I don't even know what to say about Washington right now. This is amazing watching Washington. They had their fifth straight loss today. Fifth straight loss today. So things are going crazy in DC. This is a team that everybody said was going to be back in the NFC Championship game because that's where they were last year. So you can understand how disheveled things must be in DC right now. And I'm not talking about with the government shutdown and the politics. I'm talking about right there in the Washington Commanders office. Right there. And maybe they could see some hope above, you're coming off, you got 1, 2, 3, that's 5 straight losses you're coming off. And now you got Miami, then you get a bye, and then you get Denver. Miami's playing the way they're playing. You see how Miami's playing. And this game is in Miami. And then you get a bye, and you got Denver. That looks, man, yeah. Yeah, that looks, Washington, it just looks bad. These losses can go for a minute. Miami plays like they played today. They'll beat Washington. And Denver, you're not going to get one over on Denver. They're going to do what they do. And with Sean Payton over there at the head man and got a quarterback at Bo Nix. And he's running things. And I love what I'm seeing in Denver. So Detroit is the team that I thought stepped up today and said, we want to reclaim our place atop of the NFC. That's why I had to throw that in there. And because we know Philly and Green Bay, who is considered right now the tops of the NFC, you know, each team with only 2 losses. Of course, Green Bay got a tie. But right now, they would be considered the top. So tonight, we'll get some answers about that. And then I'll be able to interject who is the top team in the NFC right now. But let's go over to those top 3 games. First game I talked about was the Pitt Chargers game. This was a very important game here for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they did not come up and play like they understood that. Aaron Rodgers mentioned it, saying, they got to be ready to play quicker, faster, and get going because that offense just did not get going. That offense did not get going. The Chargers beat them 25-10. Aaron Rodgers threw to 161 and DK Metcalf had 35 yards only. On the other side, Harbaugh throws to 220. And Lad McConkey goes for 107. That's the start over there. But I want to jump back to Pittsburgh and talk about the issue here. Pittsburgh has been known for so long winning with defense and then wanting to have a quarterback that just make the plays and not put them in bad plays. And that's why I thought Aaron Rodgers being there would be perfect, because don't ask him to win games, just ask him not to lose games. But this offense is so horrible that you have to ask Aaron Rodgers to win games. And here is the problem. I'm not saying Aaron Rodgers can't get some things done. I'm saying I don't know if you got the people around him so he can get the things done. Or I certainly don't know. No, I do know that you're not using DK Metcalf right. I see you keep throwing deep balls and back shoulder fades to DK Metcalf. Like, I don't know that that's his game. You got to give him some movement. Let him get flying up the field. Give him some extra deep comebacks. Break the norm. Put him on a 23, 24-yard comeback. He's so fast, once he gets guys going, they'll be running out of it. But that's what I would start doing on him. Put him on some crossers. Put him on crossers. DK's never been a guy that goes up and get the ball and snatch it from people. Come on now. I know he can leap out the gym. He leaps out the gym. But you're going to need more out of Aaron Rodgers now for the Pittsburgh Steelers to get to where they got to go. They have to score more points. That offense did not look good. And you can say, oh, there's Chargers, and the Chargers got that defense. And yeah, okay. The issue is here with Pittsburgh. It's also, you got the team right behind you now that won again. The Ravens beat the Vikings today. They didn't look super. They did not look super. So I'm not trying to scare you with that. They did not look super. But they put up some points. In Pittsburgh right now, that offense is not putting up points. And they got to figure it out. and figure it out fast. And Aaron Rodgers was talking about it. They got to get it figured real fast. I am so excited about what's going on with the Chargers. I told you guys, Harbaugh, Sean Payton, that division is changing. Everybody's talking about what Kansas City Chiefs going to do. Those are 4 games now that the Chiefs didn't have. Every year, that's going to give them some problems because of the coaches that aren't coaching those teams. They only do it one way. They are excellent coaches. They know how to get their team ready, and they know how to put a game plan together, and they stick to it. And hey, that's 4 hard games for the Chiefs. That's why when I see the Chiefs won 9 consecutive division titles, that's why you start saying it's in jeopardy. Those 4 games against Chargers and Broncos going to be tough games. Chargers did a great job today doing what they needed to do to get this win. Herbert and McCarthy and Jim Harbaugh doing all and patting on the pads and everything. That jump works. Also to the Chargers, I want to give some love to my man, Keenan Allen, who became the all-time leading receiver in receptions for the Chargers, surpassing that bad boy, that tight end over there, Antonio Gates. Beautiful moment at the game, my brother. Congratulations to you. They talked about all of his teammates and how they love him so much, and they were so happy that he was coming back home to play. And now he gets to become the all-time leading receiver for receptions for the Los Angeles Chargers. Congratulations, Keenan Allen. You're one of the greatest to ever do it, my brother. I appreciate watching the professionalism in the way in which you've gone about your business over the years. Congrats. You deserve it. On this show, we love to talk about offense. That's quarterbacks, that's wide receivers, and we throw in some running backs. But let's take a second to talk about defense. Home defense. No security system defends your home like SimpliSafe defends your home. Most systems only react to intruders once they break in, when it's too late. But SimpliSafe has real, live agents that confront potential intruders before those jokers break in. They call it Active Guard Outdoor Protection. I just got my SimpliSafe equipment. I love it. It's easy, it's great, and it's the only defender that can truly cover the playmaker. Right now, we can get you a secret early Black Friday discount. You get 60%, 60% off a new SimpliSafe system if you go to simplisafe.com/playmaker. That's simplisafe.com/playmaker to get the discount. Remember, there is no safe like SimpliSafe. I want to talk about this other game, that New England and Tampa game, because I thought I took Tampa in this game, and New England won. And for me, guys, I want you to know, New England has, we at one point we had Tampa, the top team in the NFC, and we had Buffalo, top team in the AFC. New England has beat Buffalo and beat Tampa. On the road. They went into Buffalo. And yesterday, they went into Tampa and got the victory. This young team, man, my mind just goes crazy thinking about what I'm seeing. And I can't. As I dissect my own thoughts and analogies about Bill Belichick, Mike Vrabel, how is this such a difference, and how is it manifesting so quickly like this? These guys are a lot alike when it comes to detailed coaching. very good at detailed coaching, very good at complex schemes, very good at teaching it, very good at telling guys just do your job. They're so similar in this way. But one thing that separates them totally, like the ocean, separate them like an ocean, one on this side and one on that side. And that is Mike Vrabel is the ultimate players coach. He's the ultimate players coach. Bill Belichick was the ultimate dictator. The ultimate dictator. This is my way, a highway, and that's that. It's the only damn way. He's the ultimate dictator. And in a day where time's changing so fast and people, no, especially these young kids today, or these young men today, or these young people today, nobody wants a boss that's dominion over them and rah, 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 and boss me and boss me. They want bosses that works with them. You got to understand their feelings. And when you say, I need you to sprint this, they say, I don't, let me see how I feel about that. And you have to consider their feelings. I was like, this is the key to what I'm watching with Vrabel. Bill must have had it so hard over there. The Vrabel now comes in. He's such a breath of fresh air. You see how he touches every one of his players' hands coming in the locker room or coming out of the locker room. After the game, he sits right there and touches every one of them, talk to him, good job. Oh my God, today this tripped me out because I was telling people, you guys don't know. When I was doing games in Belichick and the Patriots were running things and doing well and ruling it, man, rule, they had the dynasty going. Dude, you couldn't talk to the players pregame. I would see guys, man, bad dudes. I mean, bad brothers that you better believe Bill Belichick wasn't going to cut them. Richard Seymour's, all of them dudes, some bad boys that could play. And I would be seeing, I would be on the field before the game and want to go over and say hi. They'd be like, come over here. Because Bill don't like him, don't like seeing you talk to nobody, do not like seeing you be human. He wants you to be the robot that only robotic the game. Robot. And the dudes couldn't even talk to me in warm-ups. I was just saying, okay, I got you now, bro. I got you. Imagine that. And ruling with such an iron hand that everybody walks on eggshells all the time afraid. Now on the other side, here comes Mike Vrabel. I've never seen it. In all my years of watching football, and I love watching football, and I sit here and I watch it all day. I've never seen what I saw Mike Vrabel do today. Mike Vrabel, when his player got hurt, walked out and held his hand while they were talking to him and working on him. Then the other player got hurt. He walked out on the field again. While the guy's getting tended to, and treatment, I saw Vrabel picking grass out of his hair. I said, are you shitting me? This is the NFL. Vrabel, I've never seen a coach do that. I guarantee, and I can challenge anybody. I don't think you've ever seen a coach do that. Player hurt, and sit him down, go down and at him. Hey man, we're right here with you. Let him know. But I'm talking about hold his hand. This is the this is the gladiator of gladiator sport. Men amongst men. stand for the toughest, the baddest out here. He was holding a grown man's hand on the field. I'm telling y'all hear me say it all the time. This game ain't just about your great skill or whatever kind of skill you have. Since all guys have to work together, the greatest thing you can have together is one collective will. And when your head coach is picking grass up out his player's hair in the middle of a game when he's hurt and holding his hand, holding another player's hand in the middle of the game when he's hurt, in front of everybody in the world that's watching these games. That's going to be a problem. Vrabel got those guys on a hell of a collective will. It's going to be hard to beat New England if you think you're going to slip in and this is something of a facade that New England is doing, boy, you're going to be as wrong as you're going to be. And I'm going to tell you something. You're going to be shocked when you get in a game against them and you feel what I'm talking about. You too will say, Mike said this. New England beat Tampa 28-23. Tampa played, and they tried. A little slow start, couldn't get going. But New England, Tampa did drive right down the field. But New England looks great. I'm talking about a physical football team. Drake May, who threw for 270 yards. I mean, a physical football team. What a play Stephon Diggs made on 4th down to score a touchdown headed into the half. What a play. Henderson had 147 yards rushing. And they were talking about they've been waiting on him to get going because he's so great, hitting the hole so fast, and things, everything. He's great. He got going. And there again, that's going to be a young team with a lot of young talent. I couldn't help but think about this, man. When you think about the comparative analysis that you do with a Bill Belichick and a Mike Vrabel, and the dictator and the players coach, and Vrabel's going overboard with it, trying to correct what was there. And I said overboard in the very best of ways. I love what he's doing. I believe that's the strongest asset your team can have. I don't want to hear about speed. I don't want to hear about size. I don't want to hear about strength. I'm talking about togetherness. And that's what he's showing. I think about this. I'm looking at Drake May and his development. And I think about Bill and Matt Jones' development. Vrabel went and got Josh McDaniels for Drake May. Belichick said, get out of here, shut up, you're just a quarterback. And threw you Matt Patricia. You see what I'm saying? It's, peeps, all I'm telling you is watch it. New England is here, and they're doing it again. So watch that. Watch what happens with it. I still believe in Tampa. But boy, I really, really like what I see with the Patriots. I mean, they don't make mistakes. They play hard. They play great defense. Everything. They play sound football. That's amazing. This is so much different than anybody thought. Nobody expected New England to be here. Everybody expected Buffalo to be the top of this division. And now New England and Miami has beaten Buffalo. This is crazy, man. Tampa got to fight back now. Tampa loses today, and then they got to play the Bills next, Buffalo, speaking of those Bills. Then they got to play the Rams before getting a chance to play in Arizona and New Orleans. Tampa, you got to get Bucky Irvin back, get everybody back healthy, and get back going again. I appreciate you guys, man. And prayers up for the commish, his family, and his loved ones. Commissioner Paul Tagliabue. God bless.